Hello, it's Tammy Pally, aka the Crafty Princess and Doll Collector, and I have a little doll with me today, actually a big doll. She's 23 inches. And let me first preface this with it is Sunday and I'm doing laundry and my husband's running in and out. So you might hear some background noises and I might have to edit out a few things. But this girl's not going to be with me a whole lot longer because I've borrowed her, and the person I borrowed her from, my sister, I will be seeing later this week, so I need to return her. But she's been sitting in my spare bedroom in her box for quite a while. She's a My Twinn, and I wasn't really sure what I was going to do with her. My sister knew I was making doll videos, and she was like, "Oh, I have this really cool doll that I bought for my daughter years ago. It's a My Twinn, blah blah blah," and she brought it, over one time when we were visiting, and I kind of just stuck her in the other room because I didn't really know anything about a My Twinn doll, and I wasn't like super interested at the time. But like I said, I knew I wanted to get this back to my sister, so I started doing some research, and now I find them very, very interesting because they have a fascinating history with them. This particular doll is one of the older versions. It was, let's see, actually have the receipt here. My sister and her husband bought this as a gift for my niece when she was quite young, I think maybe around 8 years old, and this was back in 1997. So yeah, today is 2016, February 2016, so that's quite a while ago. This girl's been hanging out for a while. She's 23 inches tall, and from what the research I've done, she's from what they call the golden era of the My Twins. And I say she's from the golden era because what happened is I initially thought, well, I'm just going to get on to the My Twinn website and just get some info, do a quick video, blah, blah. Well, I got onto the My Twinn website and it said it was under construction for maintenance, and then some pages seemed to work, but it just seemed like, kind of weird. So I started doing some Googling and that kind of thing, and long story short, I discovered that the reason why the website doesn't work is because the company closed in January 2016. Yeah, just last month, right? Yeah, that's why they don't have any information really. And there was in fact, I'll try to put a link to this website that I did find that had a very lengthy history, probably more than you would care to know, but I found it very interesting about the history of these dolls, which were originally made and manufactured in Colorado. So they were American made for quite a while. So this particular doll, except for the body, it does say the body is made in China. And let me just describe the doll quickly to you too. She's 23 inches, made of vinyl. Her legs and arms and head are vinyl. Her body is fabric, like the American Girl dolls, similar to that. And there's a tag on here that actually has the date, a My Twinn tag. I don't know if you can see that. There's the tag right there. My lighting's not so great. And so yes, so her body parts, except for her body, the fabric body was made in China, but the rest of this, the vinyl was made and assembled, and her face painted and all that stuff in the U.S., which, if you know anything about the fact that almost nothing's made in the United States these days, I thought that was quite impressive. And I was like, oh wow, a doll company in the United States, how cool is that? And then I found out that they don't exist anymore. Bummer. But yeah, they just had quality issues. It was difficult for them to keep up with the demand, and these were individually made. Here is actually the form that my sister obviously filled out from a catalog. Because this was, yeah, there's the date, October 1997. So this is you order stuff online days. So you had to do this the old-fashioned way, where you hand wrote things. They sent in a picture of your daughter, and you filled out what you wanted. They have on here the type of eyes and hair and eyebrows. And I will say, let's try to give it a close-up look. Her face is pretty amazing. Very detailed. I don't know, those eyes are just gorgeous. So, 20-something years, this is a fantastic looking doll. She's in pristine shape, really, because I guess my niece never played with her. The dress she's wearing is one that my mom made. That would be her grandmother. My mom made the dress. The receipt says that they purchased some. In fact, the receipt says My Twinn Sailor. So she got a My Twinn Sailor, which I guess that's what this doll is. Girl Sailor Brittany, an extra outfit is what she purchased. I've texted my sister a few times. She's been traveling, so I haven't been able to ask her specifics about it exactly, but she didn't really have a very good memory about when exactly she bought the doll. So this was in the box. So that's kind of what I have to go by, though. I'm going to ask her more about it. So yeah, her eyelashes are incredibly detailed, and her eyes are gorgeous. Her hair, my sister had it in a braid because it's a lot of hair. There's a lot. It's very thick. My family tends to be kind of hairy, if you hadn't noticed, so we tend to have a lot of hair. And I took it out and I just gave it a very, very light brushing. It's kind of getting frizzy, so I'm going to maybe see about how we can, clean the hair up a little bit. But from what I read online, when this doll was made was really when the company was in their heyday. Their quality was amazing. It went downhill because they started manufacturing more of the parts of the dolls, even the vinyl parts, in China. And then they had financial problems because of the quality, because people were returning the dolls a lot. And they started losing the face molds and all the molds and stuff. They were losing them because it was, they owed people money, and I guess they just shut down factories and weren't able to get the face molds out of there, I guess. That's just horrible. But even look at her eyebrows. Hand-painted eyebrows. Wow, her lips. She even has little, you probably won't be able to see these, but she's got a couple of little freckles right here, and I think there's one over here on the side that when you fill out the form, you can actually say where to put the freckles and stuff. So, or you could. You can't buy these anymore. Another thing that the company did at one time was they decided, I think this is from what I remember from reading, it was in the mid-2000s, they opted to start making 18-inch dolls, obviously probably to compete with the American Girl market. And there's a lot of 18-inch dolls out there now. The Madame Alexander has some that are 18 inches. Those go for about $60 or so. I think, I may be wrong, but I think that they're connected with Target somehow. And then, of course, Walmart has their version. Toys R Us has their version. Everybody's out with the 18-inch dolls. So these dolls are 23 inches. She's a big girl. So for whatever reason, they decided to go with 18 inches. Like I said, I'm guessing to compete with that market, and that was also kind of a hit for them. Again, they had quality issues, and people complaining about, I guess they had trouble with the eyes turning weird colors and stuff like that. But yeah, I guess like that, her eyes are fantastic, and I want to say, is it 22 years? 2016 minus 1997? Yeah, so 20-something years, and those eyes and that face look really perfect. That's when you can obviously tell an artist painted this and artiste put this doll together. But yeah, so that's kind of my, just not necessarily a review, because she's perfect. I don't see what would be wrong with her. But kind of just some information. I thought you might find it interesting. And if you have one of those My Twinn dolls, it's My, Twinn, Twinn with 2 N's. Start looking around. There's some interesting historical information about these dolls. Oh, another thing about her, which I thought was kind of odd, because she doesn't stand up. She can't stand up. I noticed her legs are all bent. Well, that's because her body is set up so that she can sit. So she's made to sit, not to stand up. She just sits around. But yeah, generally speaking, she's in really amazing shape. And I did look on eBay, and there's a lot of similar dolls. And I think, from what I read, it kind of depends on what face mold you have. And I can't tell for sure what the face mold is from this. I don't know if there's, like I said, Britney's on here, so I don't know if that's a Britney face mold. I don't know. But she's a really pretty doll, and I'm going to suggest that my sister kind of clean her up and find maybe a glass case to put her in or something, because it's just sad that she's in her box. She's such a pretty doll. And now, does she look like my niece Ashley? Not now, because Ashley's a grown woman with her own daughter. But I think she was pretty close looking to her at the time. She definitely, the hair color was kind of a darkish blonde. And you know, her facial features, skin tone, all that, I would say that's pretty spot on. But yeah, so I don't know this girl's name. I don't know, maybe it's Brittany because it's a Brittany face mold. I don't know, but she'll be heading back to hang out with my sister, like I said, who I'm going to suggest, you know, free her from the box, find a pretty place to display her, because yeah, she's kind of not, she's one of a kind. She's a one of a kind doll made specifically for her daughter, and they don't even make these anymore at all. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you found this interesting, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. And if you have any information you'd like to share about the My Twinn dolls, feel free to message me or put it in the comments. And have a wonderful dolly day. Thank you so much for watching.